Monday, June 5th, 2017, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So this is an early market update just to look at the headlines as well and see what's going on out there. It's 8 a.m. London, so 3 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So it's still very early. London markets, people start coming into their desks in the city of London at 7 o'clock. So market's been trading for over an hour. The London Stock Exchange doesn't trade open till a little later, but I think 8:30. But the futures market, FX market, very active at this time of the day already. Excuse me. So right now we've got spot gold at 1279.80, up $1. We've been up to 1282.35 overnight. The low's been 1278.50, so fairly narrow range, but we've made a new high already this week, which is encouraging. Small move, but albeit a high. Silver got up to 1761 overnight. Right now is 1752, down 2 cents. Dow futures up 4 points at the moment, 21,198. S&P 500 futures down 1.3 points at 2436. So yeah, stock market, nothing really to write home about. It's still levitating higher. FTSE 75.54 up 11. The currencies, the pound is a little weaker this morning, 128.70 down 20 pips. The low's been 128.50, the high 128.96. Euro 112.69 down 12 pips. Dollar's a little, excuse me, a little firmer against the yen at 110.50, up 6 pips. Dollar index Friday got hit because of the weak non-farm number, and we traded below 97 right now. We're 96.80, up just 5 cents or a nickel. So still fairly quiet, the market so far. Treasury yield, the 10-year yield is at 2.16. I think that's pretty much where we were Friday, but still on very low levels here. I think this 2.15 to 16 is a little bit of a support in terms of yield. If we break through this, we could go to see 2% and continue to see Treasury prices go higher. And why is that happening? Well, because it looks like the economy is really weakening in the U.S., not really doing too well. So longer term rates, come off. The Fed's still expected to hike rates, so that could put even more of a dampener on the economy and longer term rates. And that's called curve flattening. The curve flattens. The short term rates go up and the longer term rates come down, and the curve flattens. What else? Cryptocurrencies still doing very well. Right now, Ethereum, let's see here, according to LITECOIN index, is 244. The 24-hour high is 246, and the 24-hour low 243. So not much move there. Bitcoin, 2,570, right near the 24-hour high. 2,800 is the recent high. Couple of weeks ago or 10 days or so. We got back below 2,000 after that, and we've recovered very well. So the key level to watch here is 2,800. It still could come down. Long term, I still think it's a good thing to keep some Bitcoin. Not bet the house on it, of course. There's an interesting interview that Cliff Hyde did with Greg Hunter, and I'm putting it up on the card, and I'll put a link to it below as well. And he talks a lot about cryptocurrencies. The only thing that I disagreed with Cliff, and I sent him an email trying to explain to him, because Greg Hunter asked him about Steemit and Steem cryptocurrency and Steem dollar, and he said the only thing Cliff Hyde said the only thing that he sees as a disadvantage is that he doesn't see how people can transfer or convert Steem or Steem dollars into Bitcoin. And I had to write him an email and explain to him how you can do it. It's very easy, and I do it. I use an exchange called Poloniex. People could use other exchanges, but it's easily transferable to the exchange, and then you can sell it to on Steam, or Steam it, sell it into Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency for that matter. So what are the other cryptocurrencies doing? Litecoin 28.97, up 4%. Ripple 0.29. Where's Steam? Let's have a look. Steam is doing very well. It's at 140, up 9% in the 24-hour period. The high has been 148 actually, and the low 128. So that's cryptocurrencies. What else? Yeah, in terms of the technicals for gold and silver, they're still looking good. But we need to continue moving higher. It's still quite early right now in London. Yeah, 12.80.50 right now, gold. Silver, we need to see silver start moving a little more. That would be good to see that, silver leading the way. In terms of headlines, interesting one I've seen this morning is that Saudi Arabia, Egypt, United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain have cut diplomatic ties with Qatar, and they've shut all borders, and they're deporting all Qatari citizens. And that's quite interesting because they're allied, those two countries, and now they're saying it's because Qatar has been supporting terrorist groups. And don't forget that Qatar is the country that had been trying to build this pipeline through Syria into Europe. And the Russians didn't like that because it would cut into their gas business to Europe. And some people argue that this has been the whole reason behind the war, civil war in Syria. So really interesting. I think we need to keep an eye on that. It's quite a shock that, Qatar has been ostracized by these countries. Qatar even got, they've got the biggest, I think, naval base or military base the U.S. has in the Middle East. In Qatar, they won the right to host the soccer or football World Cup, I think in 2022. So interesting headline, I thought. The other one that's a little bit worrying, in my opinion, is Theresa May, British Prime Minister. And don't forget, before being Prime Minister, she was the, Home Office, the head of the Home Office, which is the Department of Interior. So she says, Theresa May, this is all on Zero Hedge, by the way. Theresa May urges global internet regulation to deprive terrorists of safe spaces. Yeah, I mean, you do need to crack down on these people where you can prove that they are planning things and that they're trying to teach or preach hate, terrorism, but you need to be careful. I think it's a really, I guess this is an example of never let a crisis go to waste, and this is here the British Prime Minister trying to crack down and regulate the internet. I don't think it's a good thing. And I read a little bit from the article, as it says, as The Verge reported, I think it must be a magazine, it says this isn't the first time that May has made calls to regulate the internet behavior. In 2012, then Home Secretary May drafted a bill that would force internet service providers to retain user data for up to a year. The bill was blocked, but she worked to introduce similar legislation in subsequent years. Last month, May's Conservative Party included its intent to enact internet regulations that are designed to combat online extremism and to protect the public from abusive and offensive materials. All well and good, but who decides, what is abusive and offensive? It's a slippery slope, in my opinion. I don't know. So this is, I think, a a relevant headline, an important headline resulting from the events we've seen over the weekend at London Bridge. Another interesting headline was Putin. He was interviewed, I think, by, was it Megyn Kelly? And apparently he hinted that JFK was murdered by the deep state, which is now after Trump and Russia. I don't disagree with them. You know, that's why they create, you know, the CIA, which is part of the deep state. They're the ones who created the term conspiracy theory to discredit people who try to shine a line on their activities. So that's it for now, for this morning. You know, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up and share it with friends, families, colleagues. And also, if you want to watch my videos, you can do it on steemit.com. And if you like to donate to my channel, there's some links below in the description. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.